Hey everyone, Davey here. So it's about time that I have done a vlog. I haven't done one in a while, and I'm gonna try to be as open and consistent and coherent as possible within this review, mainly because I just recently watched a movie called Birdman, and that movie inspired me to do this video in one long take without any edits. But much like that movie, I'll probably edit a little bit because there's probably going to be some moments where I'm going to mess up deeply and I'm going to have to go back and cut. But honestly, I don't feel like cutting. I feel like just talking to the camera one-on-one in a vlog, expressing my thoughts about some things that people have been talking about lately. I feel like I haven't done one in a while, and there's some things that I need to address when it comes to some things that everybody is just raving about. Mainly one that I actually got a request to talk about, plus something that I recently missed in a review for a particular TV show that really irritates me, but I feel like this warrants a video to at least talk about. But I didn't want to make just one separate video just for that, so I'm like, okay, you know what, let's make a vlog, talk about not only that but also some other things that I can hopefully pack in there within a 10-minute window, because I really don't want to lose your guys' attention and cause you guys to just exit the video out because my videos are just too long. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about certain things. First of all, I want to wish you guys, or at least I hope for you guys to have had a really good Thanksgiving with your friends and family, a really safe one, and a really festive one with lots of food. And furthermore, I wish to see, there was an edit right there. Furthermore, I hope you guys had a safe but really abundant Black Friday. I did participate in Black Friday to some extent. I didn't, camp out in front of stores. I mean, I live in the high desert, and we have like two Best Buys that are local within our area. One is actually almost 30 minutes away, so that's quite a drive. But another one's about 15 minutes, and I remember going to that Best Buy about on Monday, the week of Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and I remember going there to, I think, just check out a deal of some kind, something that was on sale, whatever. I can't remember if I even bought it, but I went there, and there were already tents pitched outside and chairs and people already waiting. It was Monday, and they were already there. This thing is almost getting ridiculous to the point where I don't even want to do it anymore. However, I did tell myself that even if I'm not gonna camp out like all those people that are crazy enough to do it, I will still partake in simply just going to the stores and checking out what's left there. I'm gonna be a vulture, a Black Friday vulture that picks off the little things that are left behind after everybody got the big deals. Even though, if you're smart, like me, not to sound overindulgent, self-indulgent, but if you're smart, you can still nab Black Friday deals, whether it be online or even in the store, should they be things that you know for a fact that not a whole lot of people are going to aim at, or at least immediately. Especially Thursday night, because everybody's with their family. But nowadays, people are together with their families in Best Buy or in the mall. That's how they roll. And trust me, I actually saw quite a few families at the Best Buy that I went to. And I went on Thursday night, and also I went on Friday. I went to Best Buy, I went to Target, I went to Walmart, I checked out all these other places. Mostly for the experience, just to see how it feels to be in a packed store and keeping an eye out to see if there's something interesting or not. If there isn't, then no big deal. I mean, after all, right now I am unemployed, so hey, I'll at least be saving some money. But after what I'm about to show you, that was probably not the case. But I did manage to nab some deals. Most of them online, some through price matching, and some by sheer coincidence, finding them in the store and going, ooh, I gotta get that. First thing that I got is this fucker right here. Oh yes, beautiful. The PlayStation 4. I want to say finally mine, but because I'm unemployed and because I have limited finances, and by limited I mean I'm almost broke, to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this. Right now I am trying to currently look for a job, and I've had some close calls. In fact, I'm in the middle of one where I might just get this one, but I'll have to call in and check with the manager and see what he says. He'll have the final word on that whole thing. But if I do manage to get a job, I say within the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think 3 weeks maximum, then I'll be keeping this puppy and paying it off with hopefully the first check that I get. With the first check, I'll pay this off. Originally, I mean, this is the standard PlayStation 4, 500 gigabytes by itself, no other special bundle. And I'll explain why there's no special bundle. But it's the PlayStation 4 by itself, originally $400, as you know. That's the original listing price. Got it for $330, $70 less. Got it for $330 off of eBay, and it wasn't a random seller on eBay. It was actually the website that eBay's partnered with, which is Newegg. Got it through Newegg, $330, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get it. I don't have it anymore, but before this, I actually bought a Wii U bundle from Best Buy. It was the Wii U that came with Super Mario 3D World and Nintendo Land packed into the box, and along with that, it actually came with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and the one that hurts, Super Smash Brothers, for the Wii U, obviously. All for $360, which means that if you want to get technical, you're getting Donkey Kong Country for free, because that game goes for about $50, and that whole entire bundle is $410 together, but through the special Black Friday deals, it was $50 less, so essentially you're getting the Donkey Kong game for free. And I nabbed it, but the only reason why I nabbed it is because out of all these, between those two consoles, which are the only ones left that I want, between PS4 and the Wii U, I chose the PS4 because there's actually more games that I want for the PS4 than I do the Wii U. The Wii U, there's actually only about 4 games right now that I want for the Wii U. 2 of them were in that bundle: 3D World, Super Mario 3D World, and Smash Brothers. The other 2 are Bayonetta 2, which actually comes with the original Bayonetta. Why am I tripping on my words? I'm trying to make this as quick as possible, but yeah. Bayonetta 2 that actually comes with a free copy of Bayonetta inside of it, so that's pretty cool. And the new Zelda game that's coming out next year, that might be it. There is another Star Fox game coming soon, and I wouldn't mind getting that, but that's these games first and then Star Fox, and of course Star Fox is not until next year. So I guess that could be kind of considered the 5th game, but even then, that's not enough games to really, quantity-wise, it's not enough games to warrant a full purchase of a console at $300, almost $400. However, the weight of some of these games, especially Smash Brothers, which I haven't played Smash Brothers in a while. I skipped Brawl. Yeah, I feel bad. I skipped Brawl. I have the first one, obviously. I got Melee. Love those 2 games. Mainly Melee, of course, because it's definitely better. Skipped out on Brawl. From what I hear, Brawl is good, but it just doesn't feel, it just doesn't have that magical touch that Melee had, and apparently they brought it back with the Wii U version. So yeah, I definitely want to get back into that, and because Wii U's backwards compatible, I could actually go back and get Brawl and play that and see what I missed out on, playing as Sonic Snake. So that would be rather cool. However, between the two, PS4, because there's way more games than I want for the PS4, which I actually already got. For $100, $25 each, I got Watch Dogs, Shadow of Mordor, Killzone Shadowfall, and Infamous Second Son for the PlayStation 4, and I already got those games. Unfortunately, however, out of those 4 games, 2 of them might go back if this, like I said, this whole thing with the job doesn't work out, because I can still return those 2 games. I'm still within that window where I can just take them back. The two that unfortunately I cannot take back because it's actually been a while since I got them. It's actually been over a month, so too late. But hey, they were $25 each, so I actually don't feel too bad. I'm like, at least I got them for a deal. Was Infamous and Killzone Shadowfall. So hopefully in the future, if I ever actually manage to keep this, then I'll at least have a couple of games to play. So there it is, PlayStation 4. I understand that there was a bundle over the Black Friday weekend that came with GTA 5 and Last of Us, and it was original, and it was just the basic $400, which is a cool deal. But I already played those 2 games, and sure, they have a couple. GTA 5 is the one that actually comes with the new features that are exclusively on the PlayStation 4, and because of that, I'm kind of like tempted, but no thanks. There was also a bundle with Lego Batman 3 and Little Big Planet 3, but some of the reviews have been kind of for those 2 games, even though I would still like to get Little Big Planet 3, because I'm a huge fan of those games, and I've literally been hearing very polarizing things about that game. There's been some people saying that it's kind of mediocre at best, while others gave it like 9s or something. Other things that I got over Black Friday were a couple of Nintendo 3DS games. I got Link Between Worlds for $20. Animal Crossing, New Leaf, and Super Mario 3D Land for $15 each, and Pokemon Y for $15. So I was like, wow, definitely a massive steal. Now, David, since when do you have a Nintendo 3DS? Yes. I actually nabbed this before Black Friday, last month actually, in the middle of November or so, because they knocked $25 off the price. It was at $175, and yeah, definitely really cool. Now, between these two, if I manage to get the job, the one that'll pay off first is definitely the PS4 because it costs more, and because I actually managed to get 6-month financing on this because I have a Best Buy credit card. I got it from Best Buy. So yeah, I got myself a 3DS. So if time and money permits, I will also be keeping this if, like I said, this whole thing with the job pans out, and I'll be playing some of those 3DS games, and you'll start seeing 3DS reviews from me, not just PlayStation 3 or 4 if I keep this, but also now Nintendo 3DS, and hopefully next year, probably for my birthday or something, if I have, like I said, enough money by then, I'll go ahead and get myself the Wii U. Plus, it'll still be $360. It'll be $300 for that bundle with Mario 3D World and then Super Smash Brothers. Sure, I won't get the Donkey Kong game, but it's not on my list of games to get, so it'll still be at $360, if, give or take. So, with that said, let's go ahead and talk about some trailers. It's mainly trailers, what people have been raving about lately. There were 2 trailers that I was going to talk about. One I actually got a request for, so that actually kind of prompted me to make a vlog. So, congrats to whoever's, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, but somebody posted a comment saying, hey, talk about the Jurassic World trailer, and so I will be doing that too. And at the time, I was only going to do this trailer, I was going to review, so to speak, this trailer and the Star Wars trailer, obviously. Star Wars The Force Awakens, I got to talk about that. But the day that I was planning on making this video, but then I got kind of lazy and I decided to postpone it, they released the trailer for Terminator Genisys. So now I feel to talk about that, but briefly, because I don't have that much to say about it. So first off, Jurassic World. I'm not going to go into descriptions about these trailers because judging by the millions of views these guys have gotten, these things have gotten, I won't have to break it down and tell you, oh, you see this, this, and that. I'm just going to give you guys my opinion. Jurassic World, to be honest, kind of mixed, because there's some things that I'm digging in from the trailer, and there's some other things that I'm a little skeptical about. One of them could definitely be fixed by the time that the movie comes out. The things that I see in the trailer that I'm looking forward to. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, they're great actors, so I'm looking forward to what they bring to the table. The director, Colin, I don't know his last name, but he directed Safety Not Guaranteed, so I'm kind of proud of him, so to say, to have him tackle a large yet kind of passionate project, because it deals with science fiction as well, just like that movie did, only on a much more smaller scale. And speaking of the director, there's certain camera shots that actually look rather cool. I'm liking certain stylistic choices he's taking in terms of the technical things about the movie, especially this POV shot of somebody being dragged away by presumably a dinosaur. It actually looks kind of cool. It looks like you're actually there in the suspense and the thrill of the moment. And just some other good cinematography, a way to present the park in a really grand scale. I'm looking forward to see what this mutated dinosaur is. You can kind of see a glimpse of it chasing, I think it was Chris Pratt or maybe some other character, but you can kind of see the feet stomping. But if you look up, you can actually see humanoid-looking hands reaching out like this. And I'm like, ooh, this thing. I'm hoping it looks terrifying, but not too mutated to where it just looks completely unbelievable and really cartoony. And which actually I can use as a segue to the couple of things that I didn't fancy so much in this trailer. The first one would actually have to be some of the visual effects. There's a couple of shots that look a little unpolished, and that's not to say they look terrible, but they just don't look like they're done yet. They look like an effect, because the whole point of visual effects is that they're supposed to look invisible. The best visual effects are the invisible ones, the ones that just blend into the scene so perfectly that you almost forget that they're an effect. They feel real. However, there were a couple of shots in this trailer that I can easily, like I said, they're not terrible, but I can easily picture the shot without the effect. And for a visual effect, that's a bit of a problem. which is why I favor practical effects overall, because you know for a fact that that thing is in there, it's in the shot. Whereas a visual effect, it's up to those animators to make sure that this thing looks as seamless as possible. And there were a couple of shots in this trailer where I'm like, I really hope they polish this up by the time that the movie comes out in June, which I think is plenty of time for them to be able to do. The shot where the Shamu-looking dinosaur jumps up and gets a shark and eats it and splashes the audience with water. That looked too much like an effect. The shot where Chris Pratt is riding his bicycle with his bicycle. He's riding his bicycle. No, he's riding the bike with the velociraptors. I can kind of see the velociraptors getting cropped out of the image easily. However, I will say that that's actually one of the interesting things about the trailer, is that I don't know much about the story or the characters. So it's kind of interesting to have that shot where the raptors look like they're running with Pratt rather than at Pratt. It's kind of interesting. From what I hear, I haven't looked it up because I don't want to spoil myself too much, but from what I hear, he's supposed to be like the dinosaur whisperer of this park that's able to kind of communicate through behavior with these dinosaurs. So it looks like maybe he's going to be able to gather an army of some kind to be able to fight off whatever dangers some of the characters find themselves in. So that's actually kind of interesting, something that I don't think that has been in the Jurassic Park movies, not for lack of trying, because I'm pretty sure that that's what, I think his name was Muldoon, the hunter from the first one, the clever girl, that guy. I think that's what they try to do with that character, but now it looks like they're actually going through with a character that can kind of communicate with dinosaurs and kind of manipulate them to do what he or she wants. And I think it's an interesting dynamic. That's, like I said, one of the interesting things that I saw in the trailer that does get me wanting to see the movie. Now the next thing, however, could be quite detrimental, considering that this is actually part of the story. And the story's in the writing. And the writing's at the beginning of the production for a movie. And from there, there's no going back. Which means that this could be something that I genuinely I'm not going to like about the movie. But only seeing the movie will tell. And that is the fact that they're doing the exact same thing as the first movie. They're opening another park, thinking that nothing's going to go wrong. They create something new, playing God again. And then disaster ensues. And I'm like, okay. And I remember, I think it was Carhill, C. Robert Carhill. He used to be a member of Spill. He was Carlisle on that website. And I follow him on Twitter, and he tweeted saying that they're practically remaking... people are saying that they're remaking the first movie again, but they're also kind of inadvertently remaking Jaws 3. Jaws 3 was almost a similar concept, especially with that scene with the Shamu dinosaur. So, yeah, I'm like, guys, come on, did you not learn your lesson from the first two movies? I kind of give the third movie a pass because if you kind of analyze, well, I mean, sure, the army arrived at the end of the movie, spoilers, but it's kind of considered an isolated incident, everything that happened in the third movie. Because it wasn't as public as the first two movies. I mean, the first movie had this park, it had, and people went to it, and then people managed to get out, which are Alan and Ellie. There you go. And obviously, because of Hammond, there was publicity around the creation of the park. But then that stuff happened, and people will start to speculate, and that's a public knowledge. What's even more public knowledge is the fact that a freaking dinosaur was roaming through San Diego at the end of Lost World. So I really hope that there's a sensible way to make to write these characters and give them a proper excuse to want to do this all over again. Because, I mean, sure, you could say that now it's 2014, so the technology's better, but if I was that person, there wouldn't be a fourth movie, because I wouldn't do this thing again. Okay? I'm like, no. I can't remember who it was. It was either Ian Malcolm, or Alan, in the third movie, who said that dinosaurs and humans are not meant to coexist. So why keep doing it? So that's the only detrimental factor that I'm finding in the story for the new Jurassic World. So hopefully it'll turn out to be a good movie, and I'll eat my words come the release on June 12th. So moving on to Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Loved it. This is the first trailer in a really long time that I replayed over and over and over. Every shot just teases the hell out of you, and I love that it just teases. There's no explanation behind it. You don't know what the hell is going on, who's running or flying to where. Nothing. You don't know anything except the minor things that have been revealed since then, like the fact that the voice is Andy Serkis, and that's Oscar Isaac in the cockpit of an X-wing, and it looks like the Rogue Alliance is still intact, and stormtroopers are still there. Why they're still there, who knows? I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's articles or whatever, but I didn't bother to read them for obvious reasons. You got a droid that looks like a soccer ball. And it's surely going to be the comic relief, but I'm hoping they do it in a way where it doesn't feel like Jar Jar. And just everything about the trailer, especially that last shot with the Millennium Falcon. My only regret is not waiting until seeing it in the theater, because I'm sure as hell that trailer will be in front of The Hobbit. It's got to be in front of The Hobbit. I mean, come on. If not The Hobbit, then I honestly can't think of any major blockbuster that's coming out in December. I mean, there are some other movies, some movies that some anticipated movies that are coming out in like around Christmas time or whatever, but it's got to be in The Hobbit, please, come on. As well as the Jurassic World trailer and possibly the next trailer that I'm going to talk about. But digging it. My only nitpick, and this is purely nitpicking, is the whole cutting to black thing. It makes the trailer feel more like a reel rather than an actual trailer. Like there's no like next winter, next Christmas kind of thing. It's just cutting to black, cutting back, cutting to black, cutting back. That shot, however, with John Boyega popping out, it got me the first time. I'm like, man, where'd you... And it's kind of racist. I'm really hoping that doesn't come across as racist, but hey, he did pop out. So, yeah, that's the only thing that I didn't like, is the cutting to black, but easily nitpicking, because it is, not only is it a teaser trailer, but they're still in the production of making the damn thing. We're still a year away from the movie. I think that the principal photography just recently wrapped, but there's still plenty of footage. I'm pretty sure hours of footage left to cut together, do the visual effects, and some reshoots. They're in second unit photography, so there's still all those factors to consider that led to this trailer simply just being a series of shots being cut together in a way where it just cuts to black, back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, love the trailer. And sure, the movie might end up being dog shit, I mean, hypothetically speaking, but right now I'm just savoring the moment of being pumped for a Star Wars movie that is not done by George Lucas, because we haven't had that happen since '83, and I'm talking like I was existed then. But yeah, definitely excited. So now the trailer that I wasn't going to talk about, but let's go ahead and just talk about it anyway, and really briefly. Terminator Genisys. I finally saw the trailer not too long, actually I think it was today, earlier today. And once again, just like Jurassic Park, kind of mixed. Almost every part of this trailer has a good thing about it and a bad thing about it. First, Jason Clarke as John Connor. I like the actor. I think he could do a good job. And I like that they actually kept the scarring that he had, I believe, in that flashback during Terminator 2. I think it was Terminator 2 that showed John Connor kind of like looking around. And he had the scars, so I'm like, hey, that's kind of neat. But Jason Clarke, I don't know what it is, but I just don't see him as John Connor. I see Jai Courtney, who's playing Kyle Reese, more as John Connor than I do Jason Clarke. Maybe Jason Clarke, they should have swapped roles. All right, it was the same thing as the new Cinderella movie. If you guys know that there's a new Cinderella movie coming out with directed by Kenneth Branagh, and there are two actresses in that movie that I don't know what happened, but the paperwork got mixed up, and they're playing the complete opposite role of what they should be playing. Cate Blanchett is the evil stepmother, and Helena Bonham Carter is the fairy godmother. If you guys don't know who those people are, look them up and you'll go, yeah, why aren't they switching? Okay. But anyways, that's kind of how I feel with these two actors. But still, I'm optimistic about them as well. The setting of the future, again, also kind of mixed. I dig how kind of 80-ish it feels with there being some lasers and stuff like that, especially that shot of the Terminator, you know, the exoskeleton. I can't remember. I honestly, the one thing that I can't keep track of with these Terminator movies, more so than the time travel, would be the actual serial numbers for the Terminators. Who's the T-1000? Who's the T-800? And that thing. I have more trouble keeping up with that than I do with the whole plot. That's saying something. But yeah, you see the Terminator lifting the gun, and behind it you see like red lasers, and it looks very 80s, but it's supposed to, especially when we actually travel back down, back to 1980, I think 84, presumably later on in the trailer from what we're shown. However, my only concern would be that I'm hoping we get a much more apocalyptic feel rather than just a simple little like pichu 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 type of thing. But again, just nitpicking. Now, the most interesting part of this trailer was the fact that they're. I can't say this without thinking of what Jeremy Jahns said. I'm paraphrasing Jeremy Jahns here, saying that it almost seems like they're doing with Terminator what they did with Star Trek, where they're kind of rebooting it, and at the same time, it's still kind of a sequel. You can still watch the movies from the first one to now this one, and still go like, okay, this could be considered like the next episode in the series. I mean, plenty of television shows that have to deal with time travel do this, where in the next episode, oh, now we have to go back to this. Back to the Future did it. Back to the Future, we revisited 1955 again at the end of part 2. So can that be considered somewhat of a reboot? Not really, because the majority actually takes place in the future and in an alternate 85, so I guess it doesn't really count. But they still did it, and I believe that Terminator Genesis is their answer to that. First of all, whose idea was it to spell it that way? Anyways, Genesis. But yeah, that's the part that I'm the most interested about this plot, is the fact that we're actually jumping to 1984, I believe. You also have a cameo by 84 Schwarzenegger. They simply just cropped him out of the first Terminator and put him in there. You can easily tell. And old Schwarzenegger, the new coming back for this and looking old, and from what I hear, they're trying to work his aging into it by having the synthetic skin on him age like in real life, and that's their way of explaining why he looks old now. And I'm not gonna say what it is, but go ahead and check out Jeremy Jahns' video about the trailer, because there's no way that I can express what I'm theorizing is happening without echoing exactly what he said. So just check out his video. And because I completely agree with what he says, or with what his hypothesis is of how the plot is going to connect and how they're making it work. And I'm definitely interested in that. However, I'm hoping that we just don't get some really hammy moments from Schwarzenegger. He has his moments where he's hammy and corny, but it's likable. Like you dig it, like in Commando. But then there's other moments where can't help but roll your eyes. That's pretty much it for Terminator Genesis. I will definitely see it when it comes out, but it's not like on my list of top anticipated movies of 2015. So that about does it for my vlog, but before I wrap up, I'm going to talk about something, and it is kind of spoilery, so I saved it until the end. It's about the recent mid-season finale of The Walking Dead. There's something that I completely missed that everybody knew about. It was one of the highlights of the episode, and let's just say that once again they did a thing where I missed it. I was like, what the? Really? Didn't know about this, so I had to look it up on YouTube, watch this particular thing, and then finally gather my thoughts about it, which are, once again, also brief, considering the fact that this is actually almost a 30-minute video already, which is funny that I keep saying brief. But yeah, I'm going to talk about that. So, spoilers for the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead. So if you guys want to just cut the video right off here, go ahead. Thank you guys for watching later. But if you did manage to watch the mid-season finale, then let me go ahead and express my thoughts on the return, the long-awaited return of Morgan at the end of that episode, the after end credits scene. Why are they doing it? Why are they putting that? Just cut to commercials and then come back and put that, and then roll the credits. Don't put it at the end of the credits like you think you're Marvel. All right, don't do that. So anyways, Morgan finally comes back. He catches up with the church. He does manage to go to the school briefly, but it's mainly his appearance at the church that has me intrigued, of how he finds the map and sees the little inscription, knowing that Rick was there, and who's mainly the one that he's sawing after. However, much like with almost what everybody else has said, it's something to definitely think about, considering that the big reveal that we had in recent few episodes, there's nothing in DC. Eugene was a fraud. There's no cure. So the whole thing with DC was scrapped. However, Morgan is under the impression that they're heading to DC. So is he gonna go there and be like, "Hello? Anybody? Where is everybody? That's my impression of Morgan. So yeah, that's gonna be weird, and I'm hoping that something's gonna happen where he'll meet up with Rick, and we can have him in the story more, because I really dig Morgan. His arc is one of the most interesting and really fascinating. How as interesting as I find his arc, he's only been in a few episodes when you really think about it. I mean, he was in like what, the first 2 episodes of season 1, and then that's it. Then he gets brought back in, I believe, season 3 in 1 episode, and then he has one appearance at the I believe the first episode of this season, and now this one, and yet they were able to do so much with that character in such very little time that I wonder if they have a separate writer to handle all of the Morgan material. So I'm looking forward to have him be an essential part of the show and actually giving him proper screen time since the pilot of season 1, because man, I really dig the arc of the character, and I really like the actor's performance. I mean, he has these nuances and these little mannerisms that make his performance really authentic, especially when he's in that church and he gets up and he just laughs like wow, I forgot how this felt like to pray, to get on my knees and pray. At least that's my assumption of the character. And so yeah, I'm hoping to bring back Morgan, but hopefully they do it in a way where he just doesn't go gallivanting to DC by himself and misses Rick at the stoplight, like. However, there could be some interesting ideas with that. Maybe he'll go to DC, he finds a new band of characters, and then poof, there's the spin-off series. Who knows? That's really about it for this vlog. I already talked about everything. It's been going on way too long. It's already over 30 minutes. I said 10 minutes. Did you really believe me? I'm going insane. So I better cut off this video before I go even more insane. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.